Hey, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Cassie.
And welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. And today we're talking about something special because two of my dearest friends, Michelle and Cassie, are very competitive. And this land that we're talking about does not fall short of that element.
This is true.
It does not. We are talking about Super Nintendo World at Universal Epic Universe. And this land is inspired by the video games we grew up playing.
Yep.
Did you all play the Nintendo games growing up?
We did.
Yeah.
At least I did. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Yeah. Mario Kart is the paramount driving game, so
Absolutely.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to be Mario every time.
Okay.
I got main character syndrome
Main
sometimes,
character,
so I had
that
to be. And I love the
icon.
color red, as you can see.
Nice.
Bam. So I had to be Mario. What about you?
Yes, I was Princess Peach growing up, always, but now I'm more of a Toad girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely adorable. So I have to.
Very voice.
cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michelle, what about you?
So growing up, I also picked Princess Peach, but now I picked Cat Peach.
Oh, Cat Peach.
And what's the difference?
She's so cute. Whenever she hits someone with a shell, she goes, meow.
Love that.
So me and Michelle actually got to go out to Universal Studios Hollywood
did.
and
Yes.
experience some of this
I'm
land.
so jealous.
We
Oh,
did.
you should be. Because the first thing that you'll notice when you walk into this land is that the whole thing is the whole thing's alive and the whole thing is interactive. And of course, you get to gain points, as Michelle loves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely love. Yeah, that was one of my most fun. We were there to film a Ride Guys episode for Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, but the most fun I had on that shoot was
Gathering
Dylan
the
and I
coins.
gathering the coins.
Yeah, and competing, and then she
Yes.
won because Michelle does that.
Yes.
I mean,
you
it
do.
was close. It was close.
No, it wasn't.
It was pretty close.
No, you're just saying that to make me feel good.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay,
Yeah.
wait, I have to mention this. You're wearing a power-up band,
Yeah.
which
Bam.
is what you use to collect those coins
Yeah.
throughout the land. So the cool thing about Super Nintendo World is you have attractions, you have dining, you have all these things,
Yeah.
but you also have these interactive features throughout the land to collect coins and compete not only against your friends,
Yeah.
but also against everyone else in
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
land.
You do have to purchase the power up
Yeah.
band, but I mean, we
Worth
had
it.
so
It's
much
worth
fun.
it. It
We had
sounds
so
like
much
it.
fun.
Worth
Yeah.
it.
Yep. I'm excited to get a power-up band myself and
Exactly.
see where
Yeah.
I stand there. I'll definitely be doing that at Universal Epic Universe.
Of course.
But we have a lot to dive into: attractions, food, just the experience overall, a lot of meet and greets with some of these iconic characters. And we have two guests joining us, Susan and Andrew. We should bring them in so
I'm
we
so
can
ready.
chat with them a little
Yeah,
bit more.
'cause I
What
have
do you
some
say?
questions, so let's go.
Andrew, Susan, welcome to the Discover Universal podcast. Thanks
Hi.
for being here.
Thank
we
you.
would love to first get to know you both. If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourselves. And then we also have to know, in playing the Nintendo video games, what is your go-to character?
Susan.
So did you give a good?
That's my character. It's Susan.
Well, a little bit about myself. Let's see. I am an executive producer for Super Nintendo World. I spent most of my career in Hollywood. Worked on a couple of other attractions we were talking about before. I actually was a street performer here at Universal
cool.
right out of college. I was awful. I was horrible.
Me too.
So we won't ever talk about it again. I'm sorry I even brought it up. And then when I play any of the Nintendo games, I'm Luigi.
Nice.
Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
All
one.
right, yeah.
I love that.
Strong number 2. Come on.
Yeah.
I am creative director of Super Nintendo World, and my background, I'm from Los Angeles, worked in the film industry, did some theater, did some other themed entertainment company industry stuff. Been kind of rolling around in this for the last couple of decades. So that's what led me here. Some people that I worked with previously brought me in to really kind of support bringing this vision to life. The Super Nintendo World is the first of its kind. When we did it for Japan, that was really important to be able to execute on the high expectations guests have, as well as what the brand can deliver. When guests go from Celestial Park into Super Nintendo World, what they do is they come to this magical moment where the green pipe then is teleporting them into this Super Nintendo World. So there's a lot of transition music, there's beautiful ethereal spaces. So that's what we deliver on. We have these fantastic effects, lighting and sound that really kind of help touch on all of those senses of what it is that would actually feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a really magical experience.
Yeah, I think just to jump on that, I think one of the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is to see guests' face when they come out of Princess Peach's castle and they're looking at the land.
Do you ever have those moments where you sit down with yourself and like, I can't believe I'm actually getting to do this?
Often, very often.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where we lose track of what it is that we're doing when we're, diving so deep into the details because we're so passionate and committed about getting everything right, not just from what's been instilled in us from the brand partners and Miyamoto-san himself, and the way that he looks at you and sets a certain expectation. You're like, oh, I have to deliver for not just for him, but for what the
expectation.
Exactly what the expectation is for what guests expect from this, because that's not really what he's conveying, what he wants. It's what guests want.
No pressure.
Zero pressure. And when you look up and you see the reality of what it is that it's become, that's really gratifying. And you have to take a moment and just kind of say, wow, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Wild.
Susan, you mentioned too, just this first impression walking into this land. Dylan got to go to Universal Studios Hollywood. I have not yet experienced it, but something Dylan was talking about is just this kinetic nature. When you enter into the land, seeing everything moving and active. Tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah, I think that is really going to be a game changer for us. Moving characters, the kinetic energy, as you say, of the land, Mount Beanpole in the distance. I mean, when you walk out onto that second level, probably one of the most immersive feelings I think that people are going to have is like, I don't know if people maybe are expecting to ride rides, but I think when just walking in the land, I think is really going to be a game changer.
Hey, it's me, Dylan. I have a question. You said second level.
Did I say that?
Oh my gosh. Wait. Yeah, we can't just brush over that. That's what, second level?
It's a rare occasion when you can have guests, you enter into space and you have guests interacting with the same world, within that same world, at multiple levels, above you, around you, below you, and everything is just kind of fully engaged. It's pretty incredible.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, we have some awesome attractions coming to this land. So tell us about these attractions. We're very much looking forward to experiencing those firsthand.
Andrew? No, I'm kidding. So we have 4 main attractions, we like to say. One is obviously Yoshi's Adventure. Family-based attraction. I think
so cute.
It is so cute, and the team makes fun of me because I said in an interview that it was too cute for words, and it really is too cute for words. Then we have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, which Andrew can speak on momentarily. Then we have Minecart Madness and Donkey Kong Country, and then the fourth element is the interactive gameplay. We really consider that the fourth attraction.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to opening all of these at the same time. I think this will be the first time, it'll be the first time that all of these attractions have been available on day one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah. What we've done with the interactives, this is something that becomes a bit more visceral of an engagement with the characters themselves and rolls as a tally, like as an overall world gameplay, right? So then that becomes an experience all in itself as you're going through. And as you said, Mario Kart, Bowser's Challenge, this is something that has been delivered. We're constantly developing on our own work because we have the time and availability to really kind of learn from what we've delivered in the past. And it's just incredible to see how something can progress in that way.
So one of the things I think is important to know about Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is the story behind it. Guests are invited into Bowser's Castle, and so the queue really sets up the story of how Bowser's trying to intimidate you. And it's really a lot of fun to just kind of take in that story in the queue, learn how to play the game, and then you hop on the car and you're on your way.
There's a lot of rich plot, exactly as you said, in the queue that talks about the challenge in itself. You get to see a little bit of what's happening with MKTV showing up for this special day race. And then you get to see a little bit of Bowser's behind the scenes of who this character, the character development of who he actually is while he's plotting all of the little tricks that he has against Mario and Mario's team. Right?
Bowser's study is just one of my favorite rooms in the queue. Absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome.
A peek behind the veil.
Yeah, right. One of the great things about the attraction is that you don't always know who's going to win.
I can't wait to
So score your
do
points.
that and try it out.
Score your
I
points.
got it.
Use the band.
I got
Get
it.
those hidden
Yeah.
blocks. Do what you need to do.
So with Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, I remember you're able to connect these power bands to that, right?
You are, yes. So the power bands connect to all forms of interactivity, and that's really
awesome.
incredible, the way
Yeah.
that we have everything designed and
Yeah,
laid
maybe
out.
that was Michelle's secret when she beat me. 'Cause- maybe that was it.
There are people who have gotten incredibly high scores by knowing exactly where they are, tracking them, and looking for the next scene. I mean, but that distracts you from the world that you're living in within that scene, right?
Yeah.
So all the hidden blocks and the hidden bonuses that are unlocked by the power-up band, you should get them as they come, scene to scene. You can also be that person who wants to get ahead of everybody with score, but you're missing show.
That's why you have to do it. You have to do it multiple times so you
Yeah,
can
that's right.
experience it all differently.
Oh my goodness. There are times when we're working through the system in itself and getting everything right where it needs to be. And you have to sit in a scene to do that and watch
Yeah.
the media run again and again, the AR run again and again, all of the different show action elements. And there is so much show in there. The density of show, at first, maybe it might feel like you're tracking one character, but when you look around, every character within that space has its own life.
Yeah. Tell us about the AR too.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
mentioned that. I saw some photos of you all wearing your caps at Universal Studios Hollywood. So how does that work, and how is that piece interacting with kind of the rest of the attraction?
I think there's a lot of technical details that I can go into that I'll refrain from.
I want to know how many times you've seen the show. Have you seen?
How many times have I been
Yeah,
through it and
yeah,
seen the show?
yeah.
Oh, thousands.
And without spoiling it too much, can you tell us more about Minecart Madness?
For Minecart Madness, the Tiki Tak tribe is trying to break into the Golden Temple to steal the Golden Banana.
okay.
We join Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, as well as additional characters peppered throughout. As anything else, this is going to start in a haywire adventure, and we're jumping on this minecart to get through this space because that's the only way of travel through the Golden Temple. That's the only thing that's kind of been built in there. And there are a lot of fun moments of potential peril along the way, appearing to leap off of the track, this absolutely incredible kinetic moment, just activating the land in its entirety. It's really a fantastic adventure.
Yeah, and seems like you nailed all the characters in there.
Yeah. There's a few that are still coming along, but we have representation of Funky. Funky's flying by is there, so his airplane where everyone comes and collects all of their fantastic items and articles along the way. We have that opportunity for retail purchase, and that's just a fantastic photo op.
Yeah, and what other characters within Super Nintendo World are we going to meet?
Well, you can't have Super Nintendo World without Mario.
Thank you.
Of course.
I appreciate it. That's really what I was asking.
I know.
Character one, right? Yeah.
Character one. Also Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, Donkey Kong.
Anything else with the power-up bands that we can expect? I've heard there's hidden characters that we can find and discover throughout the land. Is there?
There are a
anything
lot of
else we should look
discoverable
forward to?
elements.
Okay.
Discovery about gameplay, discovery about self, the social dynamics and all those things, but discovering the characters and who they are, also where they are. So
Yes.
that's, I think, what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
Is there are some of those sort of peppered throughout the space that you can explore the land and ensure that you get to every inch of this space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait for
she's going to
those.
try to find
I can't
Toad
wait.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Toad, actually, can you tell us about Toadstool Cafe or any of the other, the other food items that are in the land?
We have Yoshi's Snack Island. We've got the Bubbly Barrel in Donkey Kong Country.
Turbo Boost Treats is
Turbo
another
Boost
one,
Treats, that's right.
which is an homage to Mario Kart. Of course, everyone knows the Turbo Boost when you
Yeah.
go. If you don't know, you need to play and learn.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I know Amanda was talking about when she went over to Universal Studios Hollywood that the presentation was impeccable.
Highly themed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that everything looks fantastic the way they've put it together. You have the burgers with the mustaches sort of seared onto them, the little Mario burger, as well as the Luigi burger, which I believe is a chicken option, absolutely delicious. And there is the piranha plant salad, which I actually think is
Ooh.
super super adorable. So many of these little things.
Yeah.
I'll take one of those.
So cute.
Yeah, I'll take two.
Everything. And it's good. It's
Yeah,
that's
so
I
good.
think that's one of the points that Susan.
Susan. Uh-huh.
Sometimes we forget. I was going to say Luigi, but it's fine.
Hey.
I know. I thought we were going by characters here. I'm driving. But that's one of the points is that they're so exceptional at what they do. It doesn't just look fantastic. It tastes great as well.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you are most excited for guests to experience? What's that one thing that, you're stoked to see the reactions for?
Hold nothing back.
If you can pinpoint one specifically.
I think we've talked about it a couple of times today. For me, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is seeing people's faces when they come out of Princess Peach's castle on that second level and they see Mount Beanpole in the distance. They see the world that's already alive. Andrew's mentioned it a couple of times today. We really want to create a world that is happening whether or not you're there or not.
Right.
You're just visiting on this day.
That's awesome.
And I think guests are really going to be in for just a great time. And so I'll be up on that second level watching people come out of Princess Peach's castle and looking at Mount Beanpole and seeing Super Nintendo World all around.
Yeah, no, I'll second that. But as a proud contributor, it feels really it's rewarding to show up into the space. And even though we've been through the gameplay testing for the individual interactives, we've tested all of the blocks, we've tested the attractions and all those things, and they're still incredibly enjoyable. I want to ride that with my family. I want people to show I want to showcase what it is that we've been working on for so long. But just watching everyone else enjoy it is the thing that really I think hits the deepest.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned family too, because I think there really is something for everyone. Yoshi's Adventure being such a great family-friendly attraction. But yeah, there's so much to explore
Kids of all ages.
and experience, literally, right here, all of us at the table.
Yes.
I can't wait about that part and just having different family members and friends come into town and have them experience it for the first time and see the looks on their face too. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's a great range of joy, adventure, thrill, and just interactivity and just pure fun. It just comes down to just simple fun and enjoyment.
Yep.
Well, you all have done an amazing job at putting this together. So thank you. Thank you to your incredible teams.
Thank you guys so much for having us. And you mentioned it, and I appreciate it. We represent a much larger team, and they've done a great job, and we're really proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
thank your team for us. 'Cause,
Yes.
On behalf
We
of
will.
Mario fans everywhere.
Absolutely.
There's a long list of people who we would love to have just the scroll rolled out and go down the names, and they all know who they are. But exactly as you said, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and lots of people who've contributed to this.
Amazing.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being
Thank
here.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I felt like we could have done that for an entire hour.
Yeah, Susan and Andrew were really awesome. And as always, I absolutely love these episodes where we get to dive into Universal Epic Universe and just hear more about these lands that we haven't yet experienced.
Yeah, and they still played some of it close to the chest too.
They
so
did.
they left some to be desired. So we're gonna have to go out there.
They really want us to go out there, which they don't have to pull our legs. We'll be out there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But we have to recap everything that we discussed today. So why don't we do a take 5?
I would love to do a take 5. Let's do it.
Number 5, power-up bands at Super Nintendo World. By purchasing one, you can interact with key challenges. There's different things, interactive features throughout the land, and you can also compete against your friends and other guests inside of Super Nintendo World. And there's about 8 different character-themed power-up bands to purchase. I know I'll definitely be getting Princess Peach.
Number 4, at Super Nintendo World, you get to meet some of your favorite characters face to face. So you'll see Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, Donkey Kong. So make sure that you bring your camera.
Number 3, fuel up at Toadstool Cafe, where you'll watch Chef Toad cook up some tasty creations, and they're all very themed and delicious looking. I can't wait to try them.
Number 2, Super Nintendo World is packed with excitement. So, of course, you get to experience Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, but there's also Yoshi's Adventure and Minecart Madness in Donkey Kong Country. So, there's something for the entire family.
Number 1, get ready for lots of things to do, lots of excitement. Make sure to purchase those power-up bands because there's lots of coins to collect out there. And bring your whole entire family because it's going to be fun for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I got coins to collect with this thing, right?
You do.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab mine. I'm going to purchase mine as soon as Universal Epic Universe opens. I can't wait. Thank you so much for being here, as always, with me today.
Thank you, Cassie.
Yes. Thank you to our amazing guests that we had today on the show. Thank you to our production team here as well. And thank you for watching this week's episode.
Hey friends, if you enjoyed this episode and want to know more about Super Nintendo World and Universal Epic Universe, be sure to click this video and we'll give you all the details.